So, we can do a little more of the online dating chat. This is, I don't know, this is kind of a rant, maybe a little advice, whatever. It's educational videos for guys that are going to go out on online dates. And it's about two women that you're going to meet. They are the two types of women that you are 90 to 95% chance that you're going to date these for women. And there may be other ones out there, other personalities, but they will probably fit into one of these two categories. They will either be the serial dater, or they will be the Flake, And I'll talk about the serial dater first because that's the easier of the two. A very easy one to understand anyway, but in case not, but you're probably going to find this out. You can tell the serial dater anyway. You'll see profiles of women that have been on there for 2 or 3 years. Attractive women who they've been online dating since time, and you're like, why isn't she hooked up with somebody? Well, the fact of the matter is that they don't. That she's not. This is a person who is looking for perfection, and they won't find it because there are no perfect people. And they know in the back of their head when they go out on a date that if you aren't if you aren't fitting the bill in every way possible for them, they either through some phobia that they really don't want to commit to somebody and they talk themselves out of it, or by some reasoning that they deserve better than what you're showing them, they've got emails in their email box when they get back home that they can go on to the next guy. And these women just date. That's all they do, which is why they're called serial daters, because they jump from one to the other and just knock off guys and get their lobster dinners and go on their way. So that's the first one that you're going to find. That's pretty simple. That's classic. That's, whatever. Enough of that one. The other one is the Flake. Now, the Flake, this takes some understanding of women to understand. Finally, I used to be annoyed by Flakes. The Flake is the person that you go out on the date, and you've talked to them for a week, and you've emailed a few times, you got their phone number, you've texted for a while, and you're laughing, you're having a good time and everything, you sit down, and all of a sudden, you're like, it's kind of going fine, it's kind of whatever, and, you have you get through the whole thing, and it seems like it was okay, it was fun or whatever, maybe some potential there, you think, and then when you go to contact them later on, like maybe the next day you send them a text or whatever, they just vanish off the face of the earth. They're done. Or you get to the point that it's time to go on a date and they vanish from the face of the earth, which is a little more harsh. It saves you the cost of the dinner, so it's a little more considerate. But you'll find that they just wig out totally. They flake. They're the Flake. And I think I understand that a little bit more because now I understand more about women when they set themselves up for these things. I think the woman who's going to flake on you is buying into, or they have built up in their mind, like women do when they go to do things, a process that they reach a certain point and let themselves down so hard instantly that they can't process it. Now, this is to explain how women do things. Like if a guy and his buddies want to go out, it's Friday night, we're going to go to Bubba's Soaky Lounge, Portland, Maine, 80s dance night, fun for everybody. And you call up your buddy, and it's Friday afternoon at 6 o'clock. What are you doing tonight? I don't know. Hey, let's go down to Bubba's. Okay, that's cool, let's do it. And they go, and they leave at 9 o'clock, they get there at 10, and boom, now it's time to do our thing. Women, if they're going to go do something like that, they start on Tuesday. They call the girlfriends, they do the Facebook thing, we doing something Friday, yeah, sure, let's do it, what are we going to do? Let's do 80s night, oh my god, it's fun, we'll do whatever. And then, so on Wednesday, they're out shopping, maybe Thursday, they buy some 80s clothes, or they go get some, neon stuff to wear, some crazy sunglasses or whatever, and then they plan their Friday, and it becomes Friday, we're going to go out, they meet the girls after work, they have some beers for happy hour or whatever, they go home, they do all their makeup together, they get all dressed up, and they build, it's a party, and because girls make things an event, and then they go out to Bubba's, and then boom, they're right in the thing. Women treat a date like it's men treating a football game, and they do the tailgating, and they get the beer with the guys, and they set it all up in the parking lot, and they have the food, and then they go they do the whole thing. how men treat sporting events and tailgating and things like fishing with the guys, the process that they put into that. Women do that for everything. Everything. Everything that women do with other women, it's the event. It's the process. It's not just dancing. It doesn't start when the doors fly open at Bubba's and you hear the 80s music playing. It starts early in the week. It's the how they feel when they're shopping with their girlfriends, and they're excited about that, and they're excited about what they're buying, they're excited about what they're going to look like, and they build all that up. They do that with online dating. And when they meet you, they put so much emotion in so much. I've had women tell me that they went out and they got their hair done and they did all these things before the date. Me, I just went, oh, Jesus, it's getting me about 6 o'clock. I have to be down there, you know. And I hop in the shower and I bail out. I go to the convenience store, pound a high gravity so that I got a little bit of a buzz on, so I don't, you know, I need a little, loosen up a little bit. And I get there and I'm ready to go. And they've put work into this for days. I've had women, you know, they go out and they buy, you know, they do the talk, they build it up, they picture what you're like, they add to that, and they build up what you must be like, and then they add and embellish you a little bit, and then maybe you've chatted on, you know, you've texted back and forth, maybe you got a little dirty with it, you know, got them excited, and they're picturing you, you know, boy, you know, he's turning me on, and you know, you get a little of that going on, and it builds, and then they go into the process of the date, and they build it up a little bit more, and then you go out to dinner, and it's like instantly, boom, you weren't what they really expected, because they either built you up a little bit more, got their hopes up a little bit more, put more work into it and everything, and all of a sudden it's flat, and they just freeze up, and they just want out of there. It's like, I don't know how to go past this. I built this up to the point. This was supposed to be great. This isn't what I wanted. Gone. And they're out of, they want to go, and they just don't want no part of you after that. And you'll maybe text them after on the way home, and maybe they'll send you a text after because it's fresh. Then like the next day or a few days later, you'll go and text back, hey, just wondered how you were doing, had fun the other day, and it's crickets. It's like, well, what the heck, you know? Well, and it's gone to the point that it could even be more than just dinner. You may actually go do some physical whatever after and still have the same result. When the next day, you know, maybe they had a few drinks at dinner or whatever, and you went out and sucked face and, you know, walked in the park after, and whatever happened, and all of a sudden it's like the reality crashes down that, but this guy wasn't what I really thought he was. Oh, God, what have I done? And then they just freeze on you when they're done. And you're going to meet that girl. I guarantee it. I would put $100 on any guy that wants to take the challenge that you go out on a date, go out date 3 women, and I bet, I'm going to say all 3. I'm going to say all 3 will either be the flake or the commitment phobe on you. That it will stun me to silence forever about the subject if you find somebody that it just clicked and you did it up. And you were that, and you made it fly, and I think that's the part of it. To my understanding of women, as well as I do, and of course I do. But yeah, I see it being they have done something to their own detriment, that they've let themselves down. Don't take it to heart. Because the next guy they date will probably be the same, and it will go on and on and on. But expect little. Do it. I've used the analogy of a scratch ticket before. Do it like it's a scratch ticket. You go into the convenience store, and if you go into the convenience store and you need to win that money, you're a loser every time. Go in and go, this is something to do. And that's what I do. I go out on a date, meet some nice people. It's something to do. You had a good time. Maybe talk to somebody, but don't get your heart set on it, because that may be what they've done through the process. And when they get let down, they lose it. Guys don't tend to do that as bad. They get let down. They're just like, oh, okay, you know, because they don't put as much pre-thought into it. They're not like, oh boy, they got a date. Oh boy, my God. They don't do that. They just are like, I got a date with a hot chick, and they show the pictures to their friends, and then they go out on the date, and yeah, if she's a bitch, she's a bitch, you know. And their buddies ask them, hey, what happened? And it's like, she's a bitch. Girls, they ask what happened. Oh God, it wasn't what I thought. Yeah, you shouldn't have bought that dress for $800, should you, bitch? Have fun. The jungle out there.